Once again, let me take this opportunity and time to welcome the family of God in our weekly program. We call it Health Talk. Sometimes we call it Mental Health. We just using this opportunity and time just to talk to ourselves, just to to orientate ourselves, to teach one another, to remind one another of things that we consider important and imperatives in our lives. And today I have two things that I would want to couple together, and I would want to talk to one subject and then quickly jump to the other, which is related to what I shared with the family last week. But before I do that, I'm so excited that this previous week we had time of fellowship for the first time in 6 months in Mana Tabernacle of Witness, that we were in the church building after 2 successive weeks where we had an outdoor service. And this time it was awesome. It was raining, but hey, God worked in mysterious ways. The attendance of the church service was greater than the 2 previous Sundays, and all we could say is it can only be God. And most of us who also participated when we were preparing the hall for the service, we're even praying for the chairs. We're praying and saying, God, bring people to come and sit in those chairs so that they can be ministered to. And God did not disappoint, and we had awesome service. But today I want firstly to talk about this one subject, which is actually going all around. I'm sure in our Thursday, program with Pastor Swag, Man to Man, we're talking about gender-based violence. And today I have wanted to add a little bit of a voice in this discussion. And where I have wanted to add the voice, I know that this is quite a great big subject. It cannot be summarized with one topic, or it cannot be summarized with one word, one phrase. It's multifaceted. There's so much to it. And today I have wanted to add my bit to say financial dependency as a contributory factor to gender-based violence. And I know that this is not the ultimate, but I wanted to say, from where I'm sitting, I wanted to make a contribution to this debate, this subject, by looking at how financial dependency could contribute to to gender-based violence. And I wanted to start this discussion this way, to say, how many people do you know who are who are in abusive relationships, or are in relationships that they would rather pull out, but stick around in this relationship because they are financially dependent? And maybe take it a step further to say, in your opinion, if the same people that are in abusive relationships and are sticking around, they are not going out of these relationships, everybody is looking at this thing and is saying, if this person could just walk out of this relationship, if this person could just run as far as possible away from this relationship, possibly they could be safe. Or how many people that that could not run from abusive relationship, that you you think and believe that should they have walked out, possibly they would have, saved their lives, because they've ultimately lost their lives in these relationships. And, with that in mind, I want to bring, to link gender-based violence and financial dependency. And this is how I would want to link them. And in doing so, let me start this way. There are many people, many of our people, and and pardon me for being sexist here, to say there are many of our girl child, many of our sisters who are trapped in relationships. There are many of our mothers who are trapped in relationships that are very abusive, relationships that are not healthy, relationships that actually undermines them, relationships that actually strips them of their human dignity, relationships that actually goes against any human relationship definition of what a relationship should be, between a man and a woman. Sometimes people are treated like, for lack of a better word, sometimes are treated like trash. They're treated like rubbish. They're treated like dog, pigs. I'm not saying dogs are not good animals. Neither am I implying that pigs are not, but I'm just saying that they're treated less of human beings. And and being treated less of a human being, being treated less of an equal, of course, to talk about being an equal, it's just asking way too much, because sometimes, our sisters, our mothers are treated in this relationship, more particularly in the financial relationship, they're treated like, well, like I said, like dogs. They're treated like they're not equals. And I have this question to say, that it's not this question. I'm proposing as a solution, because we are saying we are quite aware that gender-based violence is happening, and it's no longer a question of whether it's happening. What it's at stake now, it's a question of what is it that we should do, to stop it. What is it that we need to do to negotiate our way out of these abusive relationships? And from where I'm sitting, I have tried and outlined some few things, and this is what number one I said to as an advice to to our mothers, to our sisters, or to whoever find themselves trapped in relationships where they're staying there because of of the financial dependency. That one, try and find something to do that would make you to be financially independent. This would mean that if you are a housewife, you may have to go out and find a job. Sometimes you may not necessarily have to go out and find a job. Maybe use whatever skill, use whatever trade to try and make something, create something that you would sell, that would actually make you to be financially independent. It's painful when you are hostage. That you are in a relationship that is not healthy. That you are a victim in this relationship. That you are, there's nothing healthy in this relationship. Sometimes you find people that are in these relationships where they not only You know, sometimes we get worried when a person has lost weight. We said, no, this person has lost weight, and that's a symbol that this person is not well taken care of. Sometimes it goes beyond losing weight. Sometimes you lose yourself. You lose your mind, you lose your dignity. You sometimes get to a point where you think you deserve to be treated like nothing. You deserve to be treated like a dog. You deserve to be treated like a trash. And I'm saying here and now that nobody deserve to be treated like trash. Nobody deserves to be abused. Nobody deserves to stay in a relationship where they are not happy. But you know what? We continue to be in this relationship because we think that, for our survival, we need to be in these relationships. For our children's sake, we need to be in this relationship. For the sake of, of maintaining the standard, for the sake of maintaining, the standard that we have set for ourselves, whether, it could be how you dress, how you look, because in this relationships, you are given, you're sponsored with cash and so you stay, but in the process, you lose yourself, you lose your mind. You just become, you're just something else. So for me, I'm saying, do not stay in a relationship because of financial dependency. That is something that you need to do something about. Stay in a relationship because of love. Stay in a relationship because you are treated as an equal. Stay in a relationship because you are valued, and your contribution in making this relationship to work is equal. And I'm also saying that be vigilant and guard and look for signs when the wheel is turning in a relationship, where you begin to see that the things are changing. You are not treated as you used to be treated. When you begin to see signs of abuse, I'm saying don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you have lost your dear life in this relationship. In a relationship, be like a chicken. A chicken for a breakfast. A chicken contribute an egg. Don't be like a pig that for a breakfast, a pig doesn't contribute, like a chicken does with an egg, but contribute with its life. And because for us to have bacon on the table, a pig should have lost its life. And that's why I wanted to to link gender-based violence and financial dependency. And I'm saying, my brother, I'm saying, my sister, if you are in a relationship that is abusive, but you cannot pull out because of financial dependence, something is very wrong. Because for starters, for this person who has financial muscle, to ultimately control the relationship to a point where they are even able to abuse you, because it means these people somehow work to accumulate or acquire the wealth that they are using to control you. What stops you from, standing up for yourself and work as hard and as twice and as much so that you acquire your own, wealth, so that you are not in a relationship for the money. You are not in the relationship for anything else other than love. And for me, I thought, I needed to bring this to the fore to say, let's wake up. Because we know it's sometimes we stick around in relationships where we are spoiled. We were bought luxurious gifts. We are taken out on expensive holidays. But ultimately, for all of these things, we are controlled. We do not own ourselves. We do not speak our mind. We're treated sometimes less of human beings. Sometimes, as an adult, being treated more like a child. You're told what to do. You're told where to go. You're told what not to do. You're just controlled. And I'm saying, there's something that we can do. And as one way of, of doing something about this is to try and, work ourselves out of these relationships. By being financially independent, by financial stable ourselves. Don't depend on the next person to define who you are and what you can do and what you cannot do. And I know that financial independence would even make the next person realize that they cannot continue to do these things to you, because they know you'll be able to walk out and you should be able to stand up by yourself. But if they know that you have nothing, you own nothing, and they own you, they tell you what to do, they tell you it's even what to eat. Sometimes they'll even tell you when to sleep and when to wake up. Come on, people, let's wake up and smell the coffee. There's something that we can do, to stop this gouge. That was one point. But maybe the second point, and it's that which I said I would want to raise, that relates a little bit to the subject that I related to the previous week. This is how I want to also make a contribution, and my contribution here would be in relation to parents, because as parents we know that the people that are out there who are abusing women, who are treating women like trash today, who are doing all sorts of things to our beloved sisters, our mothers, and our little girl, and all, and everybody else out there who are terrorizing, the community. These are people who were once children. These are our sons. These are our daughters. And let me ask this question to a parent today. To say, as a parent, are you surprised that your son has turned out to be the monster that he is today? As a parent, are you surprised, really surprised, that your son is terrorizing girls, is terrorizing the community? He is, he's the thorn in the flesh. Are you surprised? Didn't you see this coming, as you were raising this child? I'm likening this to a farmer who planted a tree or planted, vegetables as they grow. This person is removing weeds. This person is treating, whatever plant, whatever vegetable, with pest control and doing all this thing. And the question that I'm asking is to you as a parent: did you do all you could in raising your child to make sure that you remove the weeds, the weeds that were growing? Did you remove the tick? Did you remove all these things that you observed as a parent that were accompanying or they were showing as your child was growing up? Because I do not want to believe that all these things, as they were happening as a parent, you were not aware, you could not see, could not observe, but I believe you saw something. And the question is, what did you do? And if you did not do anything, what it meant is that you have contributed fully to what we have today. And for a parent who having a child today, having a son, a girl, you have a responsibility to guide your child. You have a responsibility, to help your child to grow to be, the child that a society, as a family, you firstly as a parent you'll be happy about. As a family, you'll be so proud of. As a community, you would pride yourself that, you have raised someone who would, contribute positively to the growth of that community and the society at large. Don't keep quiet when you see something going wrong. There are children today, still at a very young age, who are doing scary stuff. The language that they use is vulgar. Sometimes they speak like that even in the presence of their parents, and they simply keep quiet. Many of the young people who are drinking alcohol today, many of the young people who are abusing substances today, they started very young, and parents were there. And sometimes these same parents were, sponsoring them by giving them, money and not, making any follow-up to understand what the money that they are giving to their children are being used for. Are you surprised that your child is turning out to be the monster that he is today? Our children now have turned out into something that, we can't stand them now. They are old. We can't do anything. They're more powerful. They're strong. They're terrorizing not only the community, but they're also terrorizing us as their parents. They're terrorizing our sisters, our mothers, and what I'm saying is, are you surprised this is happening? For you not to be surprised, own up. Take up your responsibility as a parent. Take up your responsibility as a mother, as a father, as a member in a community. When you see something wrong, mobilize your community while there's still time. Mobilize the community and the society at large when there's still time. If we wait until it's too late, it is only when that will be sitting like we are now. We are too late because, already, our sisters are being killed, our mothers are being terrorized. Things are, growing from better to worse. But I'm saying we have an opportunity and a time as parents to try and, and nip this on the bud while, there's still time. Let's try and raise our children to be responsible. Let it be away and far away from us that children that we are raising, become abusers. Let it be very far away from us that children we are interacting with, that we are having a role to play, become, monsters. I hope I have provoked you to anger, that firstly as a parent you will do something about what it's, in raising up your children. But equally that when you are in a relationship which is abusive because of, financial dependency, do something about it. Negotiate your way out of it. Make yourself useful. Make yourself employable. Create your own, your own money. Make your own money. Don't be owned by people because they have the money. As if you do not have, the brain, you do not have the willpower also to create wealth. If you can't do it in yourself, pray before God that, the God of heavens should, give you the ability to create wealth so that you negotiate yourself out of this, abusive relationship so that you don't die there unnecessarily. With this few words, family, I hope I have spoken to somebody. I hope I have, provoked somebody who is in an abusive relationship to begin to negotiate their way out of these relationships. Till next time, Goodbye.